Hey guys, Nick here. I am back. I wanted to just hop back on and close out. My phone had died, so I had to literally come to T-Mobile and charge my phone. My phone always dying for whatever reason. I guess kids, toys, games. But I wanted to come back on and just wrap up what it was that I was sharing in the last video, just about what are we called to do in this season, and what is the greatest need that is out here right now, where you're not just another person succumbing to the pressure of what we see on the news. You're not another person falling prey to the belief systems that the enemy is trying to sabotage you and get you to believe, you know, that the world hates you and that you can never excel in life because of a certain population of people that is going to hold you back and control you, or because a certain person is in office and they out here signing all these doggone bills and all this stuff. I want to come on here and just kind of ring the alarm for what is needed most for us in this season, guys. What's needed most in this season is for us to rise up and become real leaders. I think one of the biggest challenges in this generation for what we're faced with is lack of leadership. Lack of leadership and lack of people who know how to really guide people in a way that is going to be beneficial for everybody. Like, we have such selfish leadership today that is only for a certain population of people. It's a lot of lack of integrity issues and stuff like that that's happening. And what we need is some real leadership. Like, unfortunately, there is no leadership. None. I don't know who is a leader in this world today. Like, if y'all can show me what a real leader look like, that would be awesome. But I wanted to come on here really quick to close out what I was saying. I was expressing that I'm really frustrated with the lies and a lot of the schemes of the enemy that is happening today. And this is the season, y'all, for us. You know, it's funny how many of us denounce or reject God's way. As if God is an enemy. If nothing else, now more than ever, this is a season where we really need to rise up spiritually and say, Lord, I need you to like prove to me and show me what it is that we can do. What is it that we can do through you on this earth? Now more than ever, we need God. Now more than ever, we need those who are spiritually sound and spiritually discerning. Now more than ever, we need people who have the ability to lead, the ability to have impact. Now more than ever, we need a people to rise up that is not led by their emotions or their human limitations, but instead they can see beyond physical limitations, and they have spiritual discernment and wisdom. You know, we need the Davids of the Bible to rise up today. We need the Pauls of the Bible to rise up today. We need a group of people who are committed to really step into their role and their assignment on this earth that God has called us to do, to lead a people, to lead people. Like, so many of us are so selfish in this day and age with this I got mine mentality, or I'm gonna get mine mentality, that all of us are running around here just scrounging around trying to figure out like what to do. And if we were to come together and really be on a unified front of, all right, Lord, how do we come together and have the greatest level of impact in this season and really surrender to God's way and God's assignment, we can overcome these limitations. Like, we can overcome this. And I feel like I'm having this I have a dream speech. I'm not really just trying to say this like hypothetical stuff, y'all, but this is real life. Like, this is, and when I say have spiritual discernment, it's even knowing how to deal with the opposition, like how to rise up.
Show you something about the lost car.
Oh, hold your car, okay? Just hold on till mommy's finished. I don't want to have this whole hypothetical speech. I think a lot of times when people talk about God, Carson, hold on. Shh. Okay, just wait. Remember what I told you? You just wait. When mommy say stop, you just wait, okay?
Just got to get the other toy.
Okay, we just have to wait. Okay? But anyway, it's a lot of stuff that I want to say, y'all. It's a lot of things that I really want to talk about. This can go on and on. My point here is it's time for us to rise up into leadership. So many of us we got this I got to get mine mentality. We focused on money. We focused on cars. We focused on houses. We focused on clothes. We focused on all the wrong things. And at the end of the day, all those things are just a byproduct of gifts from God. But you're really called here to rise and have an impact on a nation of people. All the leaders who have tried to unite people, they have all been killed. People who lead and try to bring people together will get killed. Look at Jesus, who was crucified. Look at what happened to MLK. Okay, people who step into leadership. All right, but listen, if that's your assignment, are you afraid to die? Like, here's the thing about leadership. Like I said before, they can take my body, but they can't take my soul. One of the things that was very interesting about Martin Luther King before he died, he had a speech that he's gone to the mountaintop. He knew his day was coming to an end. Y'all listen, your presence on this earth is not permanent. I don't know why we think we on this earth and this is like the grand experience. No, you're on this earth with an assignment. You're on this earth with an assignment. You're on this earth to prepare people in the next generation. And then when your job is done, you're gone. When your job is done, you will die. Everybody will die. There's a time to live and there's a time to die. So what are we willing to die for? Are we willing to die for something? Are we willing to die for something? You know, if I get killed talking about Jesus Christ, so be it. Take my life for Christ. But let me be out here being able to guide people to get an experience and an encounter to know who God really is, so that when it is time for me to pass on, I've done my job. All of us are on this earth for an assignment. All of us are on this earth for an assignment. So yes, Martin Luther King got killed. Malcolm X got killed. Guess what? David, Solomon, Paul, Peter, they all died because they're not here on this earth for permanent residency. Like, no, y'all, we all gonna die. That's a reality. The question is, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to die for? There's a quote that says, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. It's like most of us don't want to stand for anything because we're afraid of the commitment and the sacrifice that it requires for us to rise up into a level of leadership. So instead, we just bow out and we want to complain and be on social media and we want to voice our opinion. But if you ain't going to do nothing about it, then why talk about it? Right? It's like, yeah, we gonna die. We gonna die, okay? Like, let's accept the fact that there's a casket that all of us will be in one day. The question is, what are you willing to die for? What are you willing to die for? That we all have something we're going to die for. The thing about most of these people who are gangster about their belief systems, like the terrorists and the people who were yesterday that were terrorists, they're willing to die for what they believe in. They're willing to die for what they believe in. As backwards as it is, as racist as they are, as stupid as what they're doing, is happening, they are willing to die for what they believe in. And I think most of us we don't believe in anything. We just believe that whatever happens, happens, and we don't want to rise up and, take a role onto anything, make a commitment to anything. No, baby, you can't turn that all the way up. Okay, you're going to have to wait, okay? Have a seat. So anyway, I wanted to come on here to let you guys know that it's time to step up and really step into some things. I want to do some reference chat with y'all, pull some scriptures out, really talk about some things that are happening. I feel like a lot of us only want to talk about what we want to talk about, but there are some conversations we need to have about how to be equipped and what it is that we're faced with today. Thank you, Terrence, for joining us. Thank you for your input. But we need to talk about, how do you handle life when we're dealing with the opposition that we're dealing with today? What is the key things that we can do today for the sake of our mental well-being, where you're not operating from a place of fear, you're not operating from a place of succumbing to what the media wants you to believe in, where you don't run around here with your tail between your legs believing that somebody can hold you back from the assignment that God has placed you on this earth to fulfill. So I want to do a little bit more deep diving into scriptural references and all that stuff. Most people don't want to talk about that, and that's cool. If you don't want to talk about it, don't show up. It's all good. I get it, right? Most of us would rather close our ears and watch the news and then believe whatever comes our way, and then we want to sit around and be angry and bitter and operate in fear, and we hold ourselves back because we don't really want to begin to invest in the process of figuring out who are we called to be for such a time as this. What is my assignment in this season? How am I to be a part of a shift and a movement and an impact in this nation in this season? Very few people will rise up and do that, right? And that's why most people just sit around and watch the news all day, and most people just live until it's time to die, and then they die and they move on. But I'm not that person. We're here to call to have a greater impact. And so we're going to be talking about some stuff. First thing, we got to stop putting each other down, complaining, and do something about it. It's true, but listen, You can't shift everybody's mindset. The question is, who's willing to step up and be the change? Very few people. Very few people. Just reality check. Like, most people don't want to step up and be held accountable or responsible or committed to anything. But what I want to do, guys, is we really are going to pull out the word. We're going to pull out some things and really have some deep dive conversations about what can you do in this season of your life to be the light in the midst of darkness. And that's in every environment. In the workforce, you know, that's amongst your community, within, you know, wherever it is that you are at. What can you do to begin to create a shift and an impact in the environment where you are in? Because right now there's tension everywhere and there's fear everywhere. I noticed this morning, this is just real talk, everywhere I went, the white people I encountered was smiling at me a little bit harder this morning, right? Because there's racial tension. So they were asking me, hi, good morning, how are you? Talking to Carson, right? To let me know, like, listen, I'm not them people that were in Charlottesville yesterday. But we have to begin to understand how not to walk around with a chip on our shoulder and let the enemy use us to feel like everybody we come across is against us, but instead we be the ones that are able to help create a shift and a change in our environment, and to be able to smile at other people and let them know that we represent the light and not the darkness on this earth. So when are we going to do this? I don't know. I probably would do it tonight. Huh?
What should I do?
What?
What should I do for you?
What should you do for me? Oh, what do you want to do for me? You want to be in the video?
You say whatever you want for me to do for you.
Oh, you can say hi.
Hi.
All right. So guys, we might get together tonight. We're moving actually right now into a house, and I just got a text on the last call that my grandfather just passed away, and so I'm dealing with some personal stuff and family stuff, but I want to come on here because I know now more than ever it's time to step up and be vocal, and to really not be somebody to just sit back and watch what's happening, but to be able to step up and create an impact on what's happening, and to be very vocal, right? A lot of us, especially business people, who scared that your money gonna get hung up if you talk about Jesus, if you talk about religion. A lot of us want to be quiet and be like, oh, this is not okay, keep it back there, son. Oh, this is not the time. I don't really want to be thank you, Terrence. I don't really want to be, you know, I don't want to get into these controversial conversations because it might mess with my money. Now more than ever, if you got a platform, it's time for you to rise up. If you have a relationship with the Lord, He will provide. Trust me. And you don't have to sit around and operate in fear because you worried about somebody don't want to do business with you because of the platform that you have, and you step into your assignment of actually being vocal and stepping out. So we'll talk about it. Thank you, Tamisha. Thank you, Golda. My grandfather, yes, he had cancer. And so he's had hospice this past week, and we kind of have been prepared for this to happen. Unfortunately, when hospice comes, but he's been struggling with cancer and been fighting, and he told us this week that he's tired. And so we got to deal with that. So thank you guys for all of your condolences. But yeah, guys, I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about what do we do, okay? We're going to talk about what it is that we can do. We got these platforms, and it's time to be the light. It's time to have a vocal representation of something different than what the news is doing, and that's spreading fear, spreading hatred, spreading animosity, and I can't take it anymore. So whatever change I can make and whatever impact I can have, we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about business too, but we're going to talk about what can we do in this season, and what are some of the things that God has given us clarity on how to respond in such a time as this. And so for those that are interested, stay tuned. I'll be talking more about it. Thank you guys for all of your condolences. I appreciate it. And so anyway, guys, I hope some of this has helped. I'm just venting. I'm sick. I'm not going to be a punk and sit back and watch all this stuff happen and be like, oh, well, whatever happens, happens. No, you can control the atmosphere in which you live, because God has given us dominion over the earth. You have the power and the authority to tread on the heads of demons and serpents. You have dominion over the earth, and you have that means you have the power to control your atmosphere, and not allow the enemy to come and control you. So anyway, let me wrap this up, because this guy here is like, Mom, you keep asking me to sit still, and I've been sitting.
I keep asking you to go to the store and buy me because I have money.
Okay, he has money. How much money do you have?
14.
You have $14, and you gonna buy me some stuff?
But can I buy my toy first?
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, we're going to move into this house, y'all. We're supposed to be moving today, or cleaning at least. So thank you guys for your condolences. I will be back, and this might just be my vent day, because my spirit is grieved. One of my coaches told me to stay away from religion and politics on my social media.
Mom, will we get at the store? Can we get a Nerf gun?
No, we're not buying no more Nerf guns. And I can't, because God must be glorified and I'm a vessel for him. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, I get advised to not have your opinions.
Fidget spinner?
No fidget spinners. But here's the deal. If you have your personal page, you can shed your personal opinion on your personal page. If you have a business page, you can leave your business page, right? But you do have a platform. So you can, it's a choice. It's a preference, whatever you want to do. So,
but Mom,
anywho, y'all.
Can we go now?
Yes, we can go now. We got to go. So I'll get back with you guys, and I might just be venting all throughout the day. Because I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off for seeing what's happening. And too many of us just don't know how to respond. Thank you, Golda. Yes, when people say God is first, guess what? That means he is in every part of your life. I want to get started on that. But you can't compartmentalize God, y'all. You can't. As much as the world teaches us to, you can't. But we'll talk about that later. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. Love, appreciate you guys. Thanks for plugging in and letting me just rant. And it's time to take dominion. Who's ready to take dominion? Don't be no punk, y'all. Jesus ain't no punk. God is not a punk. I'm going to get a shirt that says God is not a punk. All right, y'all. See you later. Bye.
Time for store.